Hello, welcome back to my channel. So this is Pt.4, Pt.4 update number 4, and this is sort of going to be a tutorial on how to weather and paint the interior of an abandoned airplane. So first I'm going to paint the interior, and I'm going to use this custom mixture, which is probably around 50% yellow, 40% yellow-green, and 10% olive green, and those are all Tamiya paints. I don't really remember which ones they are though. So just get something similar, and each aircraft manufacturer had a slightly different color, but what you can see in here is exactly what I'm going for. So I'm just going to hand paint the interior of this, and I'll come back when that's finished. So now that I have a good base color of my interior green, I am going to add various things to start. Starting with Tamiya panel liners, both black and brown. So I'm going to put those on, some in one color on one area and then other color on the other area, and I'll come back to show you. So now I have the panel liners on, and before they dry, I'm ready to move on. The next part, I'm going to be using AK Streaking Grime Winter, and this is different because it's more of a gray-green color that I think nicely accents this already very bright green. So I'll come back when it's done. So I just finished doing that, and now I am ready to, once this dries, give it a gloss coat, and then after that I will apply one more layer. So I decided to hold off on the oil paints, and I actually tried something that I have not tried yet, which is weathering with AK weathering pencils. So what I did was I only used the brown ones. So, and then I only have this one set. So I used 2 of the brown ones and then 1 of this red brown one. So what I did with this is I took the pencil, sorry about this, and right as you can see here, I just streaked up and down. I streaked up and down, just back and forth, just basically like drawing a picture on the side. And then taking a wet brush, you can make streaks and make it flow into the panel lines, so just to give it some color variation. And I like the way it looks, so I'll come back when I'm done with it. So I thought I'd show you just basically the basic idea of what I'm doing. So just, or even side to side, just up and down, just getting all over the area, the different colors. Just make sure you get it in between everything. Just get it all over the model, basically. Don't have to scratch off the paint or do whatever, because it will cover it and it will not be visible again. So obviously you can see the individual lines, which is not good. So next thing, just taking a flat brush, dipping it in some water, and just getting the whole thing wet. These things are water-based, so they just blend right in. Basically follow the lines that you already made, which sort of give it this rusty, grimy tone. So even though this is mostly aluminum, some of the bolts and things are metal, which change the color of the paint and everything. So you might be wondering why I didn't chip this first. That's because I already did the other side, and I chipped it first, and it was not even, visible at the end. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna do afterwards chipping, and then do another wash to tone it down after that. So I'm really happy about how this is looking so far. Just a little bit, right here. Alright, I think I'm ready for the chipping, so I will show you how to do that. Alright, so to start the chipping, I just taking a graphite pencil. One second, let me just clean this up. The previous weathering pencils aren't dry yet. That's okay. So just taking a graphite pencil and just running it along the edges that would see wear and tear. Don't make it extreme. So next, I'm taking acrylic metal color, and I will dab this on with a sponge, and I'll show you when I'm done with that. Basically what I'm doing is just taking sponge with an uneven end with metallic paint on it, and just going over all the edges, just dabbing it on. And then you get this faint mark over all the raised details that would receive wear and tear. So it makes quite a difference. Hopefully you can see that. It won't be very noticeable, but you can tell it's there. So usually I would take a pencil, and that's what I did for the other one, just a regular pencil and just go all over it, but it wasn't even visible on this dark colored paint. So now I'm just going to go over and tone everything down again with the graphite pencil. Okay, and now we can just take a damp brush and blend everything together. So next, this is Streak and Grime by AK and Winter Streak and Grime. I already used the Winter Streak and Grime, so I'm just gonna barely use a light dilution of the Streak and Grime, and that is gonna be for just to tone everything down and make it look a little dirtier. So I will do that. Actually, I might as well just show you what I do. So it's getting all over my brush. And this really helps to bring out the details that were not noticeable before. So I'm making it look grimy. Even just getting the thicker part from the top from the cap helps for the corners. So this is the landing gear bay, and this is a similar thing that I'm doing to the rest of the interior, just slightly different. And the only difference is that I'm not applying as much of a heavy coat of this Streak and Grime. So basically everything up till now is what I did to the interior. And that's sort of because this part is more open to the elements than the inside of the airplane, because it has more of a roof, and you can understand what I'm trying to say, hopefully. And this is just out in the open, exposed to whatever's out there. And this has many visible rivets, and I'm not sure, but it's possible that the rivets are steel or whatever, not aluminum, so they could rust and leave streaks when the rest of the green and aluminum does not rust, so it stains it, basically. But even at the end of the weathering, it's still obvious. that it's been sitting out in the elements and not factory fresh. I think I'm just going to add a little bit more down here. And if it gets somewhere that you don't want, you can just wipe it with them. So over here, I want it a little dirtier. It's a nice open area that's going to be more visible than the rest. So I might as well make it dirty while I'm at it. So this is basically how I weather interiors of a abandoned airplane. So you can obviously tell the difference from before. So I am very happy with how it came out, and you can definitely tell it's not, like I said, factory fresh or however you want to say it. I am very happy with this, and I'll leave you with some pictures of this and everything else that's going on with the bomber. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye.